Hey YouTube, A.Maze here, back again with another video. Thank you for watching and welcome. Alright guys, it's Christmas time. One of my favorite times of the year, like most of us. Christmas is next week. I'm pumped. And this will be my last cold Christmas because I'm moving my family to Florida pretty soon. So stay tuned to this channel. You guys are going to see the process of moving because I'm going to continue to make videos. It don't stop. Alright, so enough about me, y'all. Today's video is how to not feel jealous / envious. Okay? You say, A.Maze, really? You making a video for haters? Yes. Yes, I am. Because everybody deserves to be happy. Alright? If you are someone and you're watching this video and you feel like you have excessive jealousy and envy for people and it's tearing you apart and you want to change, I got tips for you. Okay, we're gonna help you out. Everybody deserves to be happy. All right, now before I get into the tips, let me first explain the distinction between envy and jealousy. Okay, I got this off of Google, y'all. Because I was confused too. A lot of us are. We don't know the difference. We think it's the same thing. It's kind of the same, but not really. Let's talk about it. Let's start with jealousy. Jealousy is a reaction rooted in an idea of the threat, simply the threat of losing someone or something. Okay? So jealousy is rooted in an idea. All right? You will feel threatened about losing something or someone. You feel jealous, okay? Say you have a brother, y'all the best of friends, but then he goes off to college and he makes best friends with some other guy, and you're thinking to yourself, but that's my brother, okay? He's still your brother. Y'all still best friends. Just because he made a new friend didn't mean you lost your brother. So simply the idea of losing his brother is what make him jealous, okay, of a relationship, okay? Let me read more about jealousy. Jealousy originates from the prospect of failure. Okay? Jealousy is when a third party threatens a relationship. So jealousy involves people. You can be jealous of relationships between people. You can also be jealous of things. But it's all rooted from the idea, the threat of losing. Okay? So it's not like you're jealous of something that you don't have. You just worry that you won't have it. And it can involve things and people. Remember that. Now, envy. Envy is a reaction rooted in reality. It is the reaction to actually lacking something, or at least your perception of that. If you perceive that you lack something, but you see somebody else doesn't, then that's envy. Now, you can be envious of things, but not relationships. For example, before I give you an example, let me read some more about envy. Envy says, envy originates from the prospect of actual failure. Not the threat of failure, not the idea of failure, but actual failure. Okay, or at least that's what you perceive. Envy is resentment toward others because of their possessions. Okay, so for example, you wouldn't say, oh, so-and-so is jealous of Sarah and Bob's marriage. You would say he's jealous of Sarah and Bob's marriage, but he is envious of Sarah and Bob's car. Okay. Envy does not involve relationships. Only jealousy does. Jealousy is resentment towards people because of the idea of losing someone or something. Okay, or the lack of someone or something. The idea of it. Envy is the actual lack, but only of things, not relationships. So that's the difference between envy and jealousy, okay? It feels the same, but the definitions is a slight bit different. There's a distinction. So now that we've gone over that, let's go over tips on how to get out of that vicious, nasty net of madness and depression. Because I don't have to tell you, if you are a person that is excessively and unnecessarily jealous and envious far more often than you ever should be, then you already know. You know what it feels like, but I got help for you. So number one, identify the exact source and face it head on. So you got some soul searching to do. You got to sit down one day and you have to ask yourself, well, what is it? Why is it that I can't seem to find contentment in my own world? Why do I resent others because they have? Okay, you have to do some deep thinking about that. I watched a YouTube video not too long ago that talks about things like this, just life period, and how to come up with ideas and how to think. All right. They said if you hold a thought for 17 seconds, more thoughts will come. Because you obviously don't know what your problem is, right? But have you really thought about it? So give it a fair shot. Sit down and do some thinking. Hold that thought for at least 17 seconds. Just hold that thought and keep holding it until something comes. I promise you it will. Identify your main issue, okay, first. You may not know what to do about it yet, but identify it first, okay? Because once you do that, then, okay, now what's the next step? Let's find a solution, okay? So that's number one. Identify the exact source. Confront it head on. Number two, ask yourself, what do I have? We all have something we can be grateful for. At least one thing. All right. It might just be the fact that we can walk, that we can see, the ability to just eat food, whatever you have. You have family, do you have love, you got friends? Just figure it out. Think about all the stuff you use every day that you take for granted. We all take our lives for granted. We think we're supposed to have cold and hot water. It's countries that don't have that. They use muddy water. So just think about that and really put it in your mind. Because everything begins up here. Okay? Everything begins up here. When you become grateful, happiness inevitably follows. All right. Number three, practice appreciation. So that's the same thing as number two. Appreciate. Okay? Once you concentrate your thought process on the things in your life that you appreciate, you won't have time to be angry at anybody else because they appreciate their life. And you got to understand something. Those that you perceive as great, at one point was not great. Everybody that we perceive as great, it took steps for them to get there. Diamonds used to be just a piece of coal. So all I'm saying is you have to remember, people that you think are so wonderful, because that's why you're jealous of them, because you think they're wonderful. And that's great. We're supposed to love and appreciate each other as humans. We're supposed to uplift each other. It's wonderful to think other people are wonderful. But you can't be angry at them because you don't think that you are. Okay? When you put out a vibe of jealousy or just behaviors, when you feel it, people can sense it. You're putting a vibe out there. Do you know what you're saying to that person? You're telling them that they're better than you. Okay? Every time you get mad at somebody for being content, and whatever it is, whether it's something they have, whoever they are, what they do, who they're with, you're telling them that they're better than you. Are they? Ask yourself that. When you go to number one and you sit there and you say, okay, A.Maze said identify the source. Ask yourself, are they better than me? Are they really? Okay, moving on. Number four, practice self-love. It's time to love yourself. You don't have time to be mad at somebody else when you are into yourself. Being into yourself does not mean be a selfish person. It means build yourself. You can't be there for others if you're not there for yourself, okay? Self-love. When you wake up every morning, the first thing before you even brush your teeth, you look yourself in the eyes. You look yourself directly in the eye and you say, I am strong. I am brave. I am intelligent. I am kind. I am peaceful. I am beautiful. Okay? And yes, you probably don't feel that way about yourself. All right? Because if you did, you wouldn't be jealous and envious of people. But you have to start believing it. And the way to start is by telling yourself that, okay? When you look yourself in the eye in the morning and you repeat these words every day, you're planting it in your subconscious. You have to make a conscious effort to feed your subconscious, because us humans, we run on autopilot, and the programming comes from the subconscious. Everything we believe, everything we do, it's because of what's in there. So if you are displaying behaviors of jealousy and envy, it's because you have the wrong ideas in your subconscious mind. You probably don't even know how they got there. You know, it probably stems from when you was a little child. It could have been because of what people taught you. It's probably because of what society taught you. The infrastructure, the world we live in, it programs us to believe things, and we don't even realize it. That's why it's subliminal programming. You know, subliminal seduction, as my father used to call it. Commercials, TV shows, they shape and form who we are, and we don't know that. We think we're being entertained, we're being programmed. So you need to think about that, all right? And you can overcome that. Like I said, you feed your subconscious what you want it to have. It's really that simple. It's like a GPS. If you want to go on 5th Street, you put that in the GPS and it'll show you how to get there. So your subconscious is your GPS system. What do you want to be? Do you want to be an outstanding individual? Well, you stand in the mirror every day, look yourself in the eye, and you say, guess what? I am an outstanding individual. Do this every single day and watch the magic. Okay, now that you know that, while you're doing that every morning and night, do it as much as you need to. What you need to do now is, because everything is energy, the energy that you used for resentment and sadness because you're thinking about what you feel that you lack, turn it around. Take that same energy and put it toward, maybe I should take a run every morning. That'll help. Let me imagine myself on a beach. Ooh, I love to ski. Let me imagine myself skiing the Swiss Alps. I want to be a caretaker. Let me picture myself just caring for people. Even if you don't know how you're going to make this happen, you don't have to know how you're going to make it happen. Just picture yourself doing it. Okay? You're taking steps. All right? Your thoughts, your actions, and your thoughts have to align with one another. And with time, you'll become that. You'll become that. If you want to stop being jealous, picture yourself not being jealous and loving yourself. And now that you know that you're supposed to do that, put things into practice that go with it. Make actions that match your thoughts, okay? When you make actions that match your thoughts, with time now and consistency, because you can't give up and quit, because along the way you're going to get frustrated, you're going to get impatient and think it's not going to work. You will. I'm letting you know now. But it will if you keep doing it. Even if you're in a bad mood, you have to make a conscious effort. Like I said in one of my other videos, you have to stand above your feelings, above your feelings. Look over them. Be an observer of them and act despite however you feel. Because you know how many days I have days when I just don't feel like persevering. You know, and I don't. But I say, you know what? If I don't, I won't make it. Even if I don't try as hard as I normally do, I still use words. You know, I use words. When I'm feeling low and down and I think it's hopeless, I take a deep breath, and I may not take action that day because I feel sad, you know, or mad or whatever I feel that's negative that day. So on those days when I don't feel like taking action, I use words. I still might feel sad while I'm using those words. But something magical happens. I use those words, and then next day I feel much better. Don't ask me why that happens. It just does, okay? You have to be consistent, all right? And patient with yourself. Like I tell you about all my advice. Anything we talk about here, take effort, patience, and consistency, okay? I'm going to do a whole video on nothing but just patience, effort, and consistency, because those are the main 3 things you're going to need when you're making improvements and changes, no matter what you're trying to do. Buy a house, work on anger management, raise children. You need patience and consistency. All right? And time. Number 5, learn to be happy for others. Okay? I know that's hard because you're used to not doing it. It's not that you're a bad person. You're programmed all wrong. Okay? Fight against. Everything we do here is fighting against. Okay? You know, if you used to always being resentful toward people that you perceive have or do something or feel something better than you, it's because you think that you can't. You have to stop thinking you can't do anything. It helps when you do something that you're not used to. It's going to be hard though. You'll feel uncomfortable. When that discomfort comes, be happy. That's a sign. That means you're succeeding, because what you're doing is your brain is used to, that's okay. Let me give you an example of what I mean. If you sat in a chair for 7 hours straight and didn't move, you stayed in that chair, you might have turned a little bit, but you stayed in that chair for 7 hours straight. When it's finally time to get up, your back is going to hurt. And when you stand up, your legs might be wobbly. Well, that's how the brain is. If you're used to doing something for so long, the same thing, and then one day you say, I'm not going to do that, it's going to be uncomfortable for you. But don't stop. Just go through the discomfort. Okay? When you feel that discomfort, keep going. Okay? And don't let up. Don't let up. Think of it this way. If you was lost in the woods and all of a sudden there was a forest fire, okay, and the fire is coming, and so you're running, but you fall on the ground, right? And you stuck. You like, oh my God, I can't get up. Here come the fire. But somehow, some way you get up. Okay? Once you get up, your instinct, your adrenaline will kick in, and you're just going to run. And you're going to run like your life. Well, your life does depend on it. Well, your thoughts are the same way. You'll get to a point in your journey where when you're fighting against what you normally do, you'll have a pocket, a window of time, and then it'll be easy for that little window. You know, we all have that. It'll be easy for you. Stick with that. Stick with them thoughts you got that's making it easy for you, and run like your life depends on it. Stay on them positive thoughts. Even if it's only for 1 hour or 2 hours. It might last you a week, but stick with it and stay with it as if your life depends on it, because in essence it does. It really does. You know, it's always hard to change what we're used to doing, but you can do it. And once you get past that rough patch, it'll come to you without effort, much effort at all, because it becomes who you are. That's who you've become. You know, the thing you fought against for so long, once you stay with it and be consistent and patient and give it time, it's going to feel so easy. And when it does, that's how you know you've become someone else. All right? You know you've become someone else when you don't have to try. But until then, you got to try. Okay? Be the person you want to be, no matter how hard it is. Because I promise you, that's who you will become. All right, let's move on. Show kind acts. So, number 5 and 6, you know, all of these tie in together. Be happy for others. When you're happy for other people, you be kind to them. Do something nice. Give somebody a compliment. Give somebody an anonymous card just to say you're great. You know, go to the dollar store and just find a little card that says you're a great individual. Or you can make one. You don't put your name. You don't have to put your name on it. You can just put it on their desk or under their door. They don't know who it came from. And they don't have to know who it came from, because it's going to brighten their day. It's going to make them feel good inside. Okay? When you do stuff like that, it helps you. It's going to help you more than it helps them. It's going to make you feel good because you're doing something you've never done before, or at least not used to doing on a regular. You'll become the very opposite person of who you normally are when you do things that you don't normally do. Meditate. I'm going to go on ahead and skip that. I'm not skipping it, but I ain't got to explain that, y'all. If y'all watch my channel, you know how I feel about meditation. Meditation is everything, okay? It's the only time when you can really, really be yourself and change. You can lay there. You let the mind just go. There's no judgment. There's no nothing. You let your mind filter, and then you transmute your energies that you want to transmute. Okay, you change the meaning of the negativity in your head, because you can't get rid of it, you can't ignore it, but you can change its meaning. For example, if say for example there's someone that you feel like you hate and you can't stop thinking about them, think of it this way: if you never met that person, you'd have no motivation to be excited about life and change yourself. Okay, you change one thing, you change other things. You say, I'm tired of being angry at this person. Well, think of it this way: if I never met this person, there'd be no fire under my shoes. I'd have no reason to want to change. I mean, that's just an example, but you get what I'm saying. Turn those negative feelings into positive ones. Find positive reasons to attach to your negative thoughts, and you'll get positive feelings. And last one, number 8, change your habits. Okay? You change your habits, you change your life. That's about it, y'all. You know, you don't have to feel jealous. All it's going to do is make you depressed. All right? You are wonderful. But it's up to you to know that. A million people can tell you you're wonderful, but if you don't believe it, then you won't be. When you look in the mirror in the morning, tell yourself how wonderful you are, and do it every day, and don't let up. I got 2 quotes for you because they were both so good. I couldn't pick one, so let's go. Envy is the art of counting the other fellow's blessings instead of your own. Said by Mr. Harold Coffin. Here's the other one. Envy comes from people's ignorance of or lack of belief in their own gifts. Jean Vernier. So see, I ain't the only one to think that, y'all. Alright, so that's about it, guys. Love yourselves. Appreciate what you have. Do something nice for someone and meditate. And I promise you, you do not have to be jealous. You have just as many wonderful gifts, talents, incredible things. And if you want material possessions, when you start loving yourself and loving others, they will materialize. It's the inevitable. You know, things are a byproduct of success. Okay? Success are not the things. You get those things because you have success. Success is what's within. Those things come, they can't help but come because that's what you are. All right, remember that. And that's all I got, y'all. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.